Alright, welcome back to the Bazaar, and welcome back to another dually free ranked run. I definitely prefer dually over Vanessa right now, in part because, yeah, he's got the infinite proc poison build that's probably the strongest build right now, I think, based on what I've seen. But also, just, like, he's adorable. And then there's the bonus that I pick a core and then I know what to build towards, and I don't have to, like, really think too much. Critical Core is actually a really good late game if you can get it going. But the Ignition Core is the easiest to use out of those three. Literally just get burn stuff. If I can get burn stuff, I win. This burns both of us. I don't know about that one. He gets some poison with our burn, just more dots. Or I could reroll looking for a better burn item. I think I'll reroll looking for a better burn item. And there's one. Now, until I start shielding, it's not going to be that great. 5 seconds for burn 4 is, you know, less than stellar. But it's a burn item that will scale. And we're going to go for Pyro. If we can get the lighter, it's actually really strong. But if not, we can just use Cinders to add more burn, probably to our core. Yeah, he hits us with burn 2, we hit him with burn 10. Definitely an easy win. But it's pretty rare to lose to these first guys, so no real surprise there. Yeah, we're only adding 1 burn per proc from the Ignition Core, so lighter would be nice, just because it's a 3-second cooldown. But, I don't know. The skill would probably be the best. Just +1 burn to all of our future burn items as well. I would love the skill, but... oh, we got lighter. I'm happy with lighter. And it actually definitely goes on instead of the welding torch right now, so that I can hopefully get... small and large items. 25 health is not worth taking. A random skill could be a burn skill. Or a shield skill. And yes, there's the experience, there's the extra gold, but I almost always go for the skill. Hey, you know what, if we end up with a medium weapon, that's good. I am totally fine going into this player battle with just the welding torch and the core. So I'm actually going to go for the abandoned chest and get the experience, which sets me up to potentially level up an extra time before the day 2 fight. So, how's Obscurio doing here? Day 1, what do they have going? Vanessa's definitely like the best early game, like, you know, first couple days, because she starts off with a silver item, and, yeah, that's pretty strong. 50 damage plus 15 burn, even though it's every 7.8 seconds, that's a lot. And I don't have nearly enough to counter that, so it's fine. Two hits is all it took. Yep. Very strong. Very strong. But Vanessa definitely does not reach the late game generally as easily as the pig or the robot. Shield item would actually be pretty interesting. Plus scrap could also be interesting if I pick up a shield item pretty soon. Yeah, let's go for a shield item. Alright. So, every time we sell a tool, it gets bonus ammo. But 4 seconds shield, pretty decent for a bronze, giving 20 shield, but it's not great. It's nothing to write home about. Okay, skills, 3% crit chance. Slowest poison item. Medium weapons deal more damage, but we don't even have one. And we're incentivized to not really get one. Unless, if we could get missiles, actually. The double proc would actually help the Ignition Core charge a lot. First time we use a large item. I really don't want to reroll. So hilariously, even though, you know, we are running the Ignition Core, I think the right choice here is to just take the upgrade to the skill we have, and then hope that we find a medium weapon. I will go for non-weapon items. No. not super interesting. I mean, coolant would be good if we had gone with the weapon or the item that burned us both. But for now, I'm gonna reroll. I'll definitely take first Aiden. Memory card only cares if our core does damage, not burn. It's not gonna do anything for our core. Cool LEDs could be interesting. I mean, on the one hand, it gives us it gives us slow whenever we use the core. On the other hand, it's a 4-second item that can help the ignition core go off faster, so sure. I'll take that in part, so now I'm out of gold, so I can just go for the free options. Do I beat the Rogue Scrapper here is the question. I could go for Giant Mosquito to try to get the cooldown wings. Let's just look real quick. Everyone does it, so why not join them? Giant Mosquito. 2 out of the 6 things we could get are cooldown reduction for our core, basically. 2 things we don't really care about. And then crit skill. It's not bad. And haste a weapon for 3 seconds at the start of a fight. Again, not bad. So I'd be happy with anything except for those 2 slow items there. Tent City Mare. Yeah, it has augmented weaponry, augmented defenses, scrap, sharpening stone, dog, temporary shelter. Rogue Scrapper, I don't even know if we beat, but if we do, Granola Bar upgrade would be pretty cool. We do have First Aiden already, right? Also, First Aiden, I think, since it's only going to trigger twice, it's only going to reduce the cooldown of the Welding Torch for, like, the first activation or 2. So I think First Aiden's actually better, just making the core trigger faster, healing, and also hasting something. So we're definitely going to do that. But the Rogue Scrapper, Granola Bar would be good. The skill would be acceptable. Either the Junkyard Repair Bot or the Med Kit are upgrades for First Aiden. Junkyard Club, we don't even have a weapon yet, but it is a medium weapon, so Barbed Wire, we don't shield yet, so it doesn't do anything, but it could become good. And then the Scrap, once we finally get a shield item, or if we use it specifically on the Granola Bar. All of these are good options. The question is just, do we beat the Rogue Scrapper with nothing but the Ignition Core, Welding Torch, Lighter, and First Aiden? Because if we lose this fight, we go into the next player battle with 2 less slots. But, I mean, do we? Do we win this? Alright, 3 seconds. So the first time the Ignition Core goes off will actually be at the 5-second mark. Which means the Welding Torch on its first and the Lighter on its second will have +1 burn. I just don't know if we stack it up fast enough. I think I might actually replace... If I replace the Welding Torch with the Granola Bar and Cool LEDs on the other side, we're slowing every time the core goes off, and we're charging it every 4 seconds for 2 more. Which means it'll be stacking up the Lighter faster. And since we're not shielding, the Welding Torch isn't actually that good. Yeah, we have 300 health, he has 550. 300 health. He will deal 60 damage after 10 seconds. And then the Barbed Wire... since he only has the Granola Bar for shielding, it will start at 5, it'll go up to 10, and it'll go up to 15. And then it's 15 damage every 4 seconds. I think we actually win this. Just as we are. The Granola Bar could negate the majority of the Junkyard Club's first hit. Especially if we're slowing it. But having First Aiden in means that we're going to haste one of the 4 items we have. If we have 5 items, it's less likely. And if the haste hits the Granola Bar after it's out of ammo, it does nothing. So I think this is our best board, and let's go for it. Was this a mistake? Let's find out. Because his healing 60 isn't going to matter once we stack up the burn successfully. It's just a matter of getting there. Now we are healing, basically ignoring the barbed wire for the most part. Okay, we got the stack burning. I mean, we got the burn stacking. And it's getting bigger and bigger. Yeah, we're up to 5 on the lighter. That's pretty good. He is stacked as much as he's going to. And yeah, we just burn him down. Beautiful. Whew, alright. So we basically want anything except for the Junkyard Club. I'll take it. That is 25 instead of 10 healing on First Aid. That's beautiful. Also money. Money is good. We do want a medium weapon. So let's look for one. Armadillo I don't think is the play. I mean, shielding, charging is pretty cool, but... Then again, if I don't take it, and I don't get another medium weapon... So right now, it would be doing 20 damage every 6 seconds, but as soon as I start shielding, then it starts charging up faster. If I had more shield items, I would, but... Hello.
Use it well. Make me proud.
That's going next to First Aid, and First Aid's gonna be our only friend. We could also go with the Combat Core, actually. No, we'd have to sell a lot of stuff for it, for sure. Actually, can we even? 5, 6, 7... Nope, we can't afford it. Never mind, but that's fine. So, the Pulse Rifle is amazing for 2 reasons. 1... It's now doing 28 damage times 3 every 4 seconds, because we only have the one friend. 2, every 4 seconds, it's charging the ignition core for 3 seconds. That's fun. And this stuff is still standing by. Yeah, we can't afford that anyway. It's fine. Yeah, I didn't notice it was silver. That's why I was like, ooh, maybe we can get it too, but it's fine. It's fine. Speaking of silver, we cannot afford it. We can get a small tool, or we could go for 1 experience, 1 something, something. Yeah, let's go for the small tool. Worst case scenario, we sell it. I say worst case scenario, that's actually amazing. We sell it, which it's a tool, so we're going to get plus 3 damage on our pulse rifle, but it's also going to give the granola bar an extra use. Okay, bonus scrap only really matters if we decide to, like, hard commit. I mean, turning First Aiden from haste 1 item for 1 second to haste 1 item for 2 seconds is pretty good, but so is giving 2 burn instead of 1 every time the core goes off. So I think I'm going to go for that. It is easier to upgrade the core later on. That's, you know, that's a pretty valid point. It's a lot easier to upgrade the core later on. Tough decision. I think the extra defense until we get set up with something that's more... Like, again, the granola bar is going to be good until it runs out of ammo. But until we have more burn items, because right now I'm definitely thinking that I'm going to be running the cool LEDs and granola bar, and then just have the lighter on the other side of the ignition core. So giving the lighter an extra +1 burn every time the core goes off is less than amazing. So I am going to actually upgrade First Aid. So now he hastes 1 item for 2 seconds. Which, going off every 3 seconds, means quite a bit, actually. We got the cool LEDs, and we got the granola bar. So now we're shielding for a total of 60. And then all these things are just there to really charge the ignition core to get burn going fast. Once we can get some better shielding on board, we'll definitely bring the 50% cooldown reduction from whenever you have shield item back. But for now, I think this is our best board. Oh, he's going for the power drill. So whenever he burns, hastes, slows. So he's got burn, burn, slow, burn, which each time charges the power drill. But by the time the power drill went off the first time, I'm already just shredding him. Yeah. Beautiful. Turns out that plus 18 damage on our medium weapon is pretty amazing. Very much worth the eating the mushroom we found and spending the 3 gold after. Potential upgrade for a weapon. Not super compelling. Starting the next fight? No. We're just going to go for a bronze tier skill. That's money. We don't have any large items yet. We're probably never going to use a small weapon. So let's grab the 10 gold. Small items, chocolate.
9 years.
Get an item. I don't think we can actually get another lighter. I think that's a Vanessa item. We could get a Granola bar. We could get some more cool LEDs. We could get another first aid and actually get him up to gold. Or we could get small shield items. Yeah. That's a gold first aid. Heals for 55 every 3 seconds, which, yes, that's 1/8 of our health. And then hastes 1 item for 3 seconds every 3 seconds, which is nice. We could also go for the duct tape. Definitely going to. So the duct tape is only 5 shielding compared to 20 with the Granola bar, but it's not going to run out of ammo, for 1. And for 2, if we shift like that and shift like that, every time the core goes off, it uses the duct tape. Every time first aid goes off, it uses the duct tape. Oh wow. No. Every time the pulse rifle goes off, it uses the duct tape 3 times. So that means 4 seconds in, the pulse rifle alone makes the duct tape shield for almost as much as the Granola bar. Plus it's slowing. Yeah, I don't think the Granola bar goes back out, actually. I think we just focus on getting the duct tape really good. And then drop in the welding torch after we get the duct tape really running so that we have shield more often than not. Love it. This works. Induction Aegis is also kind of fun. It's 4 seconds instead of 3, but it shields as well as burning. I'm actually gonna grab that
money can't buy class had neither.
because as soon as I'm running the welding torch, having more options for shield to get applied right before the welding torch is about to fire. The way it mechanically seems to work last time I used it was the welding torch, while you have shield, the cooldown is 2.5 seconds. So if you're already charged up to 2.5 or more seconds towards the next use, it just instantly uses it as soon as you get shield and then starts counting again. So yeah, having more things that can give us shield makes the welding torch better, is the short version. Alright. Is it actually worth using the welding torch right now instead of like the cool LEDs? Or is it worth using the induction Aegis instead of the cool LEDs? I don't know. I think we're going to see how the shielding goes with just the duct tape for this fight. I'm confident we beat just about everyone here. But then again, I do have a tendency to get overconfident whenever something goes right. Your items have plus 1 max ammo. Could be useful later. Small weapons don't care. Small weapons don't care. Crit chance, more ammo. I actually don't care about like anything here. The other is Rogue Scrapper. Rogue Scrapper has a lot of stuff I want. Hello, Rogue Scrapper. So let's see how often we have shield and how much shield we're actually getting from this. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty consistent shielding. As soon as we get that shield number to go up from 5, that might be the only shielding item we ever need. And then we can just focus on burn, making our pulse rifle stronger, and some other stuff like that slowing and everything. Alright, speaking of first aid and getting really big, there we go. 70 heal every 3 seconds. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah, medium items. There's some mediums item. There are some medium items I would like to see. There's also crit skills that I think. Now let's look for the medium items first.
No sale. I want what's
There we go.
right for you.
Upgrade that. Beautiful. And if the next event gives me 1 experience, I will be able to field. Yeah, I'll be able to field the thing I just upgraded. Okay, we're never going to use Brick Buddy because it's a friend. We need to keep just the one friend so that the pulse rifle is as strong as possible. But the welding helmet, on the other hand, is interesting. Especially if we end up with some kind of,
People thought it was weird.
some kind of scaling shield, like, skill or something. But yeah, probably never putting the granola bar back out. But I don't need to sell it yet, so I'll just leave it sitting there. Do I actually shield enough? Because as long as I'm shielding, the welding torch is way better than the lighter. It starts at 6, so basically the core would have to go off 5 times for the lighter to be as strong as the welding torch on a slightly longer cooldown, as long as we have shield. Whenever we don't have shield, though, the core would only have to go off twice for the lighter to be effectively doing the same thing as the welding torch. And I don't know. But we're definitely done in the store. There's that 1 experience. I don't even care what the other options are, because that gives us a level. Oh. I stand corrected. We didn't need to get the 1 experience. Whatever. It's fine. it's fine. Welding torch definitely goes out. Okay. So we've got gain 2 scrap, which is going to be amazing. Damage could be interesting. Burn item cooldown reduction could be interesting. Gaining 2 income, maybe. I think right now the shield, like the extra shielding... Then again, the 2 sharpening stones means that the pulse rifle will be just doing more immediate damage as the burn scales. And I think we just keep the pulse rifle forever as our medium weapon. Like, even if we don't upgrade it, the only thing upgrading it from bronze to silver to gold to diamond does is increases its damage. But if we're already increasing its damage, it's going to outcompete. It's going to outscale every other weapon. And it is making the ignition core go off way faster than any other weapon would. That said, giving more shield to the duct tape means the welding torch will have the reduced cooldown more often. And I think that matters more. And we're also definitely keeping the duct tape around basically forever. So now we've got 13 instead of 5. That makes our shielding far better. And I think I actually replaced the lighter and the LEDs with the welding helmet. It's only 6 shield every 3 seconds. Or do I just replace the induction aegis, actually? Because as long as we have shield, then the welding torch has the reduced cooldown. And getting 6 shield instead of 5 every 3 seconds instead of 4 seconds isn't, I don't think, worth potentially slowing the weapons they have that will cause us to lose shield. So I'm actually going to bring in the induction aegis, so that we're just getting the shielding, but also still having the slowing of the cool LEDs. And that's what I'm going to do. I do regret not looking at the other options compared to the chests, just to see what they were, because, yeah, it's like I mentioned in my UI UX video, having like a tick between to let me know whether or not we already got the experience for that day or whatever would be really nice. Okay, I think we're golden. Like, yeah, they're not able to make it through our shield, which means that the welding torch is going off constantly. Pulse rifle is going off constantly, charging the core, making everything stronger. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. Again, we don't care about a small weapon, we just want the one weapon, really. Getting an upgrade to the pulse rifle isn't a high priority. I would actually much rather get the max health. That, and it costs no money, so that whenever I have an opportunity There we go. Get a shield skill or go to the bronze tier junk items. I much prefer to use the money on that. 3, 4, 5. Okay. Ooh, that's a tough choice, though. So, shield skills. I would love to see any kind of scaling option where doing something like burning or, dealing damage with a weapon or whatever makes our shields increase, because then the duct tape just gets out of control really fast. The bronze tier junk items, we're looking for extra slow, we're looking for extra haste, we're looking for extra damage, we're looking for extra burn, we're looking for extra shielding. So literally anything except poison, more or less, is just golden for us with the Curio. And I think that's why I'm going to go with it.
Reuse, recycle.
The shield skills, there would be some that would not be great. Yeah, like I said, anything but poison, really. So, damage,
Forms my rusty circuit.
cooldown,
See that find home.
damage.
You're doing your part to clean
We don't have any
up
poison. We're
Bazaar.
probably not going poison in this build. And none of these actually increase our items at all. Reroll. Look at this. Beautiful. Alright. Alright. So first off, give our pulse rifle more damage. Give our core lower cooldown. Nice. Again, give the pulse rifle more damage. Give first Aiden 1 more second of haste.
Waiting for you.
So he's up to hasting for 4 seconds every 3 seconds.
Trash
More
is
damage
trash.
on the weapon.
Reuse everything.
Some crit chance.
Now that's
And I'll take the max health as well. Yes, it's 2 gold for max health compared to just buying the, buying the bars for 1 gold to get an extra 10, but whatever. It's fine. Also, I wasn't paying enough attention. I hope I was supposed to sell both of those. Oh yeah, that one was crit chance. Yeah. So everything has 1% crit chance now. Beautiful. The only way that could have possibly gone better is if we had gotten the chair leg or whatever. That would have made the cool LEDs slow one item for 2 seconds, and make when you use the core slow an item become 2 seconds. I'm just going to sell the granola bar before I forget. Like, yes, it's a good healing item, but we'd have to sell so many tools before I actually care to use it. Okay. None of them are burn. So, consulting the charts, consulting the list of things. We don't care about Halliday, we don't really care about textiles, we don't really care about... No, because if the pulse rifle is not next to the duct tape, then we lose a lot of shielding. And it has to be next to first Aiden for us to get the triple cast instead of double cast. So, actually, I think it has to be next to him. Yeah, it has to be next to a friend to get any kind of multicast. So, Ganjo's no good, textiles, whatever. Scrap or medkit or left-handed would be good. So it's a 50-50 of getting something that we can use. The Bloodreef Raider is this guy. Crow's Nest, giving our pulse rifle 50% crit chance and giving it lifesteal would be interesting to say the least, but I don't think we actually care about anything else. Shield Potion, shield for 150 once. Unless we had a way to increase ammo, that's not really great. So yeah, the high roll there would be Crow's Nest, and there's a lot that we don't want at all. Oh, also the Deadly Crooner, some of the stuff we don't want, Textiles and Ganjo, they're silver medium items, so they're worth more gold than most of what the Bloodreef Raider would give us. In the Cannonball, Revolver, Powder Flask, etc. being small items. And then the last one is the Outlands Dervish. Money, crit chance. 2 things we would instantly sell for very little money, and then cooldown reduction across the board. That's tempting, but the high roll is literally just more money or, cooldown 2% or crit chance 6%. And I'm confident we can actually beat the Deadly Crooner. He does scale, but so do we, and I think we just scale better. There's also the bonus of the 1 extra experience. Oh! That's why I didn't need the extra experience for the player fight, is because I took on the 3 experience enemy, not the 2 experience enemy. That makes sense. But yeah, he's scaling a little bit, but we are, we're fine. We are very, very fine. Alright. Beautiful. He never even made it through our shields. Okay, so what do we get? And it's money. But again, we got the extra experience, so that's cool. Okay. 6 gold, get a tool, 3 loot items, tools have reduced cooldown, or extract. I'm gonna go for the 3 loot items, hoping for cooldown reduction, damage, yeah, basically everything except for the ammo in there. So there's a +8 to our duct tape. We're gonna get our core over here scaling faster with 6% more cooldown reduction. So it takes 5.5 seconds instead of 6. We're already doing great there. Maybe eventually we'll have an item with ammo that we care about. And then the textiles, Heal equal to your shield. Ooh, silver tier skills. Okay, small items would be fun, but silver tier skills can actually be really good, especially since we don't have any burn skills yet.
You have to trust me.
Okay, we're not going to be upgrading or, running a lot of friends. That. Just that. When you use a large item, no. We don't care about poisoning when we use a large item, we don't even have one. But every time we shield, the pulse rifle getting +3 damage is insane, especially since it's a triple cast, so it's actually +9 damage every 4 seconds. Yes, please. Very nice. Health, toughness, and shield items. Gumballs. We like damage, we like shield, we like crit chance, we like health. And I definitely have enough to sell to get the 10. The only question is, will we get something better if we go to Kev's Armory? Health, toughness, and shield items. So it could give us a shield item that is just normal. It could give us a non-shield item with a shield enchant. It could give us a lot of things. But I think that the gumball machine is just guaranteed value. So I'm going to go for that. Yeah, drop in the textiles just right now. 1, 2, 3. And yes, it's important to count, or at least watch the little black dots, because if you click when you don't have any slots left, you lose it. Alright, so there's +1 shield on all of our shield items. Crit chance, health, crit chance, another shield on all of our shield items. Which I'm actually happy to see, compared to, increasing the damage on our pulse rifle. Yeah, that's like the low roll. 10 health, crit chance, that's all good. I'm glad that it was only 1 that was the damage and the rest was shielding and crit and health. So I feel like we're pretty strong right now. Let's find out how accurate that is. I definitely need to upgrade the core at this point. The sooner I can start upgrading the core, the better. Because right now, yes, we're doing a lot as far as, damage with the pulse rifle. But that is going to fall off at some point, and the scaling of our burn items is what's going to really win us fights later on. Also, they're pretty strong, but they're running out of ammo, and they're already dead. Yeah, first aid and healing us for 70 every 3 seconds is kind of insane right now. Even beyond, the, triple casting the duct tape for 69 damage every 4 seconds. Very nice. Get a slow item. Sells items. I'm going to take the abandoned chest. Again, leveling up is going to be very reliable way to get the core upgrades, to get things going faster, better. There is actually a medium item that, as dually, that you can get that will let you upgrade the core. So I'm going to go for medium items.
All about moderation.
You know what? I'll take it. We go from 43 to 53, but that's an extra 30 damage every 4 seconds. That's fine. I don't think I ever run the lighter again. Especially now that, like, shielding actually makes our pulse rifle stronger. I mean, there's actually an argument to be made. Actually, no contest. Hold on. So the welding torch is more burn, right? It's more burn. But it's every 5 seconds. So if the core procs twice, the welding helmet's up to 3 and the welding torch is up to 8. And then a third time would be, 4 versus 9. But it's 3 seconds instead of 5, unless we have the shield. If we have the shield, it's 3 seconds versus 2.5. But it's also shielding us, which is making our pulse rifle scale more. So I think right now, the shielding from the welding helmet and the guaranteed 3-second cooldown, instead of the 4-second cooldown of the welding, or the 5-second cooldown of the welding torch, is just better. And the 6% crit chance also means that shielding can crit. Which is, amazing. It also means, if necessary, we can sell the welding torch for 4 instead of selling the welding helmet for 3. Or 2. Whatever. I can math. I can number. Yeah. Microdave isn't actually that interesting for this build because we are running very few small items. And the ones we are running are mostly, things that we might replace as far as cool LEDs and the induction Aegis. If we get a good medium item. Actually, honestly, if we're shielding enough with the duct tape alone to just always be perma-shielded, I would consider replacing the welding torch, or putting the welding torch in instead of the induction Aegis and cool LEDs. But again, it's a hard thing to do because even with the cooldown reduction from having shield, it's still only 2.5 seconds. Compared to 4, it's not that much of an improvement for it to be a 2-slot item that's not shielding. So probably not, actually. Okay. One would think Flame Juggler might be best for a burn build, but actually not so much. Because the Flame Juggler, we don't care about half of that. It only fires at the start of each fight, which means our scaling core isn't going to care. The Cinders is only +1 burn. Fiery is a good skill, but the odds of us getting it is, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1 in 9 that we get the Fiery skill. Otherwise, our high roll is literally just Cinders. +1 burn. Whereas with the Mod Squad, we could get an upgrade and get Diamond First Aid. Bomb Squad could be interesting, except then we'd have to replace the Pulse Rifle, etc., etc. But then there's also Crypto, which is between 0 and 20. Which is nice. And then Beautiful Friendship, when you use a friend, your weapons gain 2 damage. Every time First Aid goes off, 2 more damage on the Pulse Rifle. It's pretty good. And then the Preening Duelist I don't think has anything we care about. Maybe like crit chance? Yeah, it has gunpowder, revolver, cannonball, pistol, so yeah. Yeah. We don't care about any of that. Cool. So I think we definitely beat Mod Squad here. And it's 1 extra experience, even if we don't, get First Aiden or something else that's really amazing. He does scale, but I think we scale much, much stronger. His only scaling is the Bulldozer getting bigger, but our Pulse Rifle's already way better than his Bulldozer. Yep. His scaling has finally outscaled our scaling by the base amount, but we're triple casting, so there was no chance. And if we, at some point, were to replace the Pulse Rifle, that would be a good way to do it. But literally only if we're replacing the Pulse Rifle. How much of this is actually... Okay, so it's got 15 damage that's not from the skill. Get a shield item. Get 2 cinders. I mean, 2 cinders would actually be pretty good on the ignition core. Again, upgrading the pulse rifle doesn't really matter. It's only an extra like 20 damage times 3. We could upgrade the core with our upgrade our leftmost silver item. Yeah, I think we upgrade the core here. I think that's the call. So now we're increasing our burn items by 2 every time the core goes off. Tools, work at the docks, gain income. I think we've got 1 tool, duct tape. Yep. So only 1 tool, otherwise we'd be swapping something out. Oh, I think welding torch is also a tool. We don't really care too much about that, so let's just go for the income. Love to see it. Like, small items could also be good, but if we get shield skills that are, you know, improving the shielding of our small items, that's just better than upgrading or replacing them.
I've won battles without ever striking a blow. Just waited for them to collapse.
Shield equals to the total burn of your items. Shield items have 3% crit chance. Shield items have +6 shield. I mean, yeah, that's good.
Is a lot like striking.
I guess the crit chance, because it was also on a burn item. Maybe the 3% crit chance on the burn items, or on the shield items, would have been better. Because then the burn could also crit. Oh well, more defenses. That's what I went with. That's what we did, and so that's what I'll live with.
Legend on Pelago.
Huh. That's a build, I guess. It's a very big trebuchet, but weird. I mean, they're hasting a lot, so that's kind of neat, but first time you use a large item, give your items 12% crit chance. Okay. Yeah, I don't think that trebuchet belonged there. Haste and charge skills. Yeah. I think right now we're literally just looking for skills unless we can upgrade something we have. First time we haste, freeze an item. First time we use a large item, freeze an item. When you use a tool gains haste for 1 second. Huh. First time you freeze each height. The first time you freeze each fight, haste your items for 3 seconds. That's pretty cool. But we don't freeze currently. The welding torch, while it's down to 2.5 seconds, would either haste itself or the duct tape every 2.5 seconds. The duct tape would haste another tool, either itself or the welding torch, every 6 seconds. That's not super valuable. That said, if it's just the duct tape on our board, it's going to haste itself. So that's effectively the same as the duct tape slow being, instead of, well, the first one would be 6 seconds, but then as soon as it gets used, every time it would be hasted for 1 second, which means it would basically bring the cooldown to 5 seconds for the rest of the battle, unless it's getting slowed or whatever. So that's not super useful. It's definitely not worth 12 gold. Since we don't freeze anything, I don't think the Invigorating Cold is worth it yet. So we have no way to freeze. So I guess we'll go with the when you haste, freeze something. Small and large items, 150 health, or more shield skills. I know what I'm looking for. I mean, that's pretty good. So, plus shield equal to our level. Right now that's 6, but that goes up by 1 every time we level, obviously. This is just 6. Period. So, same price, and currently the same benefit as heavy metal, but every time we level up, heavy metal gets significantly better. First time you fall below half health, shield equal to 20% of your max health, or your rightmost shield item has plus 15 shield. Now, the other thing is, if we upgrade toughness, which is 6 now, the next time we upgrade toughness, it would be 12 gold to get plus 12 shield. Whereas heavy metal, the next time we get the option to upgrade it, would be another 6 gold for another plus our level. It'll be plus double, or shield items have plus double your level. So I'm going to go for that.
Well enough, a shield can be its own
All right.
kind of weapon.
Enclave Weeper is poison. Trash Golem, I don't remember. Dire Mosquito is potentially cooldown. I can never remember. So we don't care about Enclave Weeper. It's just a ton of poison. Yeah, there's the chance to high roll and get experience, but everything else is poison. We don't want that. Trash Golem. Yeah, no, it's just a bunch of ammo items, and not super interesting. Yep, Dire Mosquito it is. Insect Wings. Also, when we slow haste a weapon would be pretty cool. We slow a lot, and hasting the pulse rifle would be amazing. So there's actually quite a few things we could get from the Dire Mosquito that would be good. We're passing up 1 experience to have a chance at good stuff, basically. Now there's some low rolls, like Stinger, Viscous, Neurotoxin, Amber. Those 4 things are things we don't really want. That said, actually, Amber? No, because it would take up a slot. We don't want to spend another slot on slow items. Beautiful. Alright. So, first things first, Ignition Core. Cooldown reduction. It just makes our scaling faster. Now then. Cooldown on First Aiden and potentially, if we use it, Bomb Squad. Not super interesting. 3 citrus or coconut, don't really care. Leftmost item getting 3 gold, doesn't matter. Upgrade our leftmost silver. That's a core upgrade. And then burn items having cooldown reduction. I'd rather upgrade it so we get more burn per core activation. Non-weapon items. Work at the dock and earn some coin, get a small friend. I think because the docks is likely to give you an item from other heroes, the odds of us getting an upgrade for any of this from there is very small, so it's effectively 2 gold plus whatever we could sell the additional item for.
Discounts for peace.
Whereas here we can go and... we are using the core pretty frequently. But that would probably be replacing one of our shield burn items. So we'd have to find another. Now, one thing I would consider replacing the welding helmet with would be Beta Ray as well as the Omega Ray, I think is the burn one. Because that would give us further burn scaling. That would also scale the core, which would also be going off constantly. I think I'm going to buy that, if only to hold on to it until a later time when we have the opportunity to pivot to the burn ray. And there's for Microdave again. Same reason I'm not taking him this time. We don't have a lot of small items. He only is good with small items. Moving on. Get a non-weapon item. Enchant your offensive items. So, for 5 gold, the welding torch is never going back out. So we now have the 5 gold, which means we can either give the core plus 2 burn, or the pulse rifle plus 10 damage. We don't have enough gold to reroll a lot, so Pearl's Dig Site is not ideal. So we either spend the 5 gold... yeah, we're definitely doing that. The question, though, is... do we want to give our core plus 2 burn, or our pulse rifle plus 10 damage? which is actually plus 30 damage every 4 seconds. But the 2 burn is going to be going off a lot more than every 4 seconds. And no matter what, we're keeping the core around. We might drop the pulse rifle if we're given a more compelling option. Not sure what there would be, but maybe one that's like... Maybe a weapon that's like, oh, when you burn, charge it or something.
You're not ready to accept
Regardless,
the light.
this is probably still our strongest burn, or our strongest build. Probably. Freeze 1 small item for 2 seconds versus slow 1 item for 1 second. When you use the core, slow an item versus when you use the core, charge it 2. If it wasn't just small items, then the freeze would be better, but since it is just small items, the chance to slow something big is more valuable.
My
Alright.
fight isn't with you.
How are they doing?
Insist.
Okay, just a straight up damage burst build. I have more health, I have far better shielding than their damage, I'm pretty sure. And I don't think they're scaling at all. They're also going to run out of ammo. Oh no, they are scaling. Okay. I don't know how they're scaling, but it's not enough.
You should put it toward
I guess a
noble
skill somewhere? Yeah, I didn't... Oh, there, the switchblade. So they were only scaling the katana, and yeah, that makes sense. My burn scaling was better than their limited scaling. There is an argument to be made here for just going for chocolate bars, and... Actually, wait. No. Chocolate bars, unless I'm willing to spend gold, would be 50 health. This is 175. Actually, the snack time is just objectively better, even if I were to spend 10 gold on the eating contest, because then it would be 30 per chocolate bar, which would be 150 versus 175. Or I could go potentially buy something. No, I'm going to take the 175 max health. Trade health for power. I've only seen this like once. I am curious. We don't really care about friends. The only way we care about friends is if we replace the pulse rifle with something. Getting an item is potentially money. Potentially an upgrade to something, but I think it can actually be any item from the entire game. Let's go look at the cult.
With great sacrifice
What
comes
trade...
great reward.
Okay. I can get a silver ritual dagger. What does that do? I don't know. I can lose 155 health to gain 25 regeneration. So... 25, 50, 75... 100, 125, 150. So 6 procs of regeneration before I've healed as much as the max health that I lost. Does not protect us against burst though. Lose 311 health to give our pulse rifle 50% crit chance. That's a lot of health. And then lose 466 health for the Diamond Tier Runic Double Bow. So that's a weapon that is medium that has lifesteal. Hold on a second. I want to see it. Runic Bow. Yeah. There we go. Runic Double Bow. Oh, and it does double crit damage. So that's a thing. It does have 2 multicast, which means we could actually... Okay. So it would be Diamond Tier, which means it'd be base 100 damage. It's every 6 seconds instead of every 4 seconds. So instead of 3 times every 4 seconds, we'd be doing... I'm sorry. Let me just look at this. Alright. Instead of 35 times 3 every 4 seconds... It would be 100 times 2 every 6, was it? Yes. But with lifesteal, and if it crits, it does double damage. but we'd have to give up 300 health to do it. I don't think... Okay, actually, hold on. That would also let us use more friends. Bomb Squad can go off very, very quickly if we have friends next to it. And a scaling, because of the sharp corners, a scaling lifesteal weapon is strong late game. As long as the double bow, which will gain... So 53 down to 35 is what? 28? No, 18. Yeah, 18. I can just hover the skill. So it would actually be 118 times 2 every 6 seconds. Which would be 236 every 6 seconds. 236 with lifesteal every 6 seconds means it would have to go off 1.5 times to fully heal the amount that we're giving up of max health. So we would definitely be better in prolonged fights, but in bursty fights we would lose more easily. And I don't think it has the 6%. I think the crit chance that we have on our items is from the gumballs. So it would not have any crit chance, so the double damage from crit chance doesn't matter. But if we could get the crit chance raised up, if we could get the crit chance increased, that could potentially make it very, very strong. Oh, it's 466, not 360. Oh. Haha. Oh, it's just so... I can't do it. I'm gonna just be boring and get the dagger. I mean, it is an item with lifesteal. That's actually not terrible. Especially since we do scale our weapons every time we shield. That's not terrible. I mean, again, it would only be 20 to start with, but every time we shield... Oh yeah, that's another consideration I didn't even make. If I had gotten the double bow, then the duct tape would only trigger twice every 6 seconds instead of 3 times every 4 seconds. So no, I think the pulse rifle is actually way more critical to my build than I thought it was. Until slowing does more, I think I'll just hold off on the cool LEDs. Slowing things for 1 second isn't, I think, as important as a scaling lifesteal weapon that goes off every 4. Those heals are going to be interesting. I think Shock Troopers burn? Let me once again go consult the third-party site, because that's the only way to really play well. Yeah, Shock Trooper, here we go. Oh, okay, so I could potentially upgrade the welding helmet. When you burn, this gains 50 damage for the fight. That's interesting. Also interesting, incendiary rounds. When you use an adjacent item, burn 2. Except that burn, if I have it on the side of the core, will go up every time the core goes off. That's cool. Yeah, I am very happy with almost anything. And also, when you burn, items gain 2% crit chance is just fun when you're running the burn core. Joyful Jack, I'm pretty sure, is poison. Sergeant Suds is properties and healing and shielding, I think. I don't know. I'm definitely going for Shock Trooper, though. Right? Right? This is the right play? Slowing things, I don't think is going to matter too much. He doesn't really haste anything, and the biggest concern is the plasma rifle if it scales up enough. So killing him faster and also having lifesteal while I'm killing him faster is probably better than slowing. Let's see. Let's see how this goes. Alright. You know, one thing I didn't even consider is if I actually have enough shielding My max health doesn't really matter unless I'm against a poison build. Oh well, the decision was made. Also, the Ritual Dagger made it up to 86 damage, just based on the shielding we were doing, scaling it. That's beautiful. And we high rolled. Okay. Okay. We have incendiary rounds. When we use an adjacent item, burn 2, which then becomes burn 3, which then which then becomes burn 5, then burn 8. Alright, okay, hold on. If we drop the Induction Aegis, and put the incendiary rounds next to the Ignition Core, which is constantly going off, that's gonna be fast. And I think, even though it's a little slower, getting that slot back, which lets us scoot everything over, which lets us keep all of that on the board, and then also bring the cool LEDs back to slow our opponent's stuff, or the Beta Ray. I mean, the Beta Ray will go off probably more often than 4 seconds. I don't know. We can see. I'm pretty sure the next player fight, we don't, like... I'm pretty sure we win against almost everything. Core's cooldown is reduced by 5%. Or get a lot more shielding on our duct tape. I'm going to go for the shielding. It also gives us gold. So there's plus 8 gold. Along with now our duct tape's up to 61. Pretty good. We do have one less thing shielding, since we replaced the welding helmet with the incendiary rounds and the Beta Ray. But I'm pretty sure the only way that this isn't the better call is if we... No, it's fine. I'm sure this is fine. Pretty sure, anyway. Temporary boost, not interested. Get a slow item. Could be a duct tape upgrade, but that would only be like plus 5 shielding, and then the slow being for 2 seconds instead of 1. Don't really have anything else that slows. Cool LEDs. Yeah, we're not really much of a slow build. We don't really have any skills that make it interesting to slow. I'm gonna just look at the gold tier items, see what's there. I mean, that would give us a chance to scale our burn items a little bit before the opponent does... Oh no, that's right. I always forget this isn't at the start of the fight. This is after 10 seconds. If we're not already winning after 10 seconds, I don't think the Cryosphere wins it for us. We don't really care about the poison of Copper Ed. Don't really care about Microdave. Like, a lot of our small items we don't really use. I say a lot. A couple of our small items we don't really use that much, and it would be a burn-only item that wouldn't be shielding, which wouldn't be scaling the Pulse Rifle and Ritual Dagger, so pass. What other gold items do we have to choose from? Enemy item cooldowns are increased by 1 second. So if they have a 10-second item that, you know, goes off to win, that makes it 11 seconds. That's already good. But if they have a, like, max cooldown reduction item that's down to the 1 second cap, it doubles it. The only question is, where do we put it? How do we use it? I think it would probably be better than the Beta Ray Ritual Dagger combo. Eventually we might replace the Pulse Rifle with those two. Eventually. I think this is definitely the right call. When you gain burn is when the opponent burns me. First time you use it, use this each fight, destroy a small enemy item. No, I'm not interested in a single item destruction. So this is going to be especially effective against Vanessa, who usually runs really low cooldown stuff, and possibly First Aiden. I mean, not First Aid, possibly Dooley, but probably not against Pygmalion, because Pygmalion stuff tends to be slower for the most part. Oh, and even if they're perma-hasting, this also increases a perma-hasted build by half a second before anything goes off. So it's interesting. I just don't know if it applies in every situation. Another option would be to drop it in place of the pulse rifle, which does lose us a lot of damage. And a lot of shield procs. Yeah, full stop. That and we don't really care about the shield procs if we're only scaling the ritual dagger. Whatever. Decision has been made, that's how I spent the gold. I can get 3 spare change, so 3 gold, I think. Unless it's silver or gold or whatever. I don't have the gold to reroll on that. Work at the docks. Get a random weapon, tool, or shielding item. I mean, a random shielding item... Also, the welding helmet never goes back out. Shielding item might be interesting. Worst case scenario. Then again, at this point, level 8, day 7, I think this is going to be more than just the bronze spare change. I am wrong. It is still bronze spare change. I should have worked at the docks, gotten the 2 gold guaranteed, possibly 1 extra gold or more from the item that I would have gotten. Dooley, I think I just need to kill as fast as possible. I don't think Chrono Barrier is going to be the trick. Yeah, I think running just as much damage as possible is the right call here. And just killing as fast as possible. Also, he's only on 3 wins. So this is a day 7 Dooley that only won 3 times so far. Pretty sure that we're gonna do okay. Oh wow, he's running the Ray build with all the Rays and an ignition core that is... wow. Yeah, like I said, I think it's going to just be a matter of killing him fast as possible. And his gold duct tape is only up to shielding 30. So our 61 is better. Our bronze duct tape is better than his gold duct tape other than the slow. It's pretty funny. And the incendiary rounds got up to 17 burn per time that the adjacent items triggered. Pretty good. Pretty good. I mean, we don't really care about weapons. Again, like, we don't really care about any weapon other than the pulse rifle. Unless we got something... But the only other thing that I can think of that Dooley has that has multicast would be Miss Isles, which would only be a ×2 multicast, but it would be every 3 seconds instead of every 4 seconds, and it would let us run potentially Bomb Squad, and First Aiden wouldn't have to be next to it, so First Aiden could be next to Bomb Squad, which would make Bomb Squad charge for 2 every 3 seconds. There's a lot. But I don't think weapons is the option. I think we just go for chocolate bars. We just get more max health. And remain contented with our current build until we're given an interesting choice. Like a slow skill, potentially. Then again, no, small items. 100% this is small items. If we get the burn ray,
Size dilutes the brain.
that will be
Mine
amazing.
is highly concentrated.
I mean, 2 gold for an extra 1 burn and 5 shield on our induction Aegis sounds good. Don't care about that. And then we have... That is nothing super interesting for us. Okay, moving on. Those were not the things we were looking for. And in case you forgot, because I forgot and was like, wait, what just happened? The shield items go up. The shielding goes up every time I level up. Because I have B plus shield equal to your level. There we go. That's why those keep like shifting after I level up. Threw me off for a second. Definitely not sharpening stones. We're not... I say that, but this is damage and healing. But I think the 5% cooldown reduction is better on the Ignition Core than the extra damage on the Ritual Dagger. Probably. I'm always going to use the core. I'm not necessarily always going to use those weapons. Thus, core cooldown getting down to 4.9 is better. The goal is to just, like, permanently have the Ignition Core going off. Burninator Bot seems like the best choice, but is it? Don't actually care about pylons. Induction Age's upgrade could be okay. When this is hasted, it gains burn 4. So that's not super useful unless we also had like something like pylons to keep it permanently hasted. Flamethrower, deal 2 damage, burn equal to 1 times this item's damage. That's a 2-slot item, isn't it? So instead of us getting the triple cast, charging the core, etc., every time we shielded, we would be increasing its damage and burn. But again, without the triple cast of the pulse rifle, we're not scaling our damage as fast because then the duct tape isn't triggering as fast. So, pass. And then the other options are the Infernal Frigate. We already have Diamond Incendiary rounds, so we don't care about that. Trebuchet. Trebuchet is weird. Oh, okay. So the Trebuchet build I saw earlier that I got confused by, apparently this patch it is now when you use a weapon or haste, charge this. Not when you burn, charge this, or haste this, or whatever it used to be. That's why it looked weird. It used to be a burn build thing, but now it's not a burn build thing. Got it. And then the Cosmic Rock is a chance to get cooldown reduction. Other than that,
This must be a big decision for someone like you.
well, that wasn't very nice. But yes, it is a big decision. When you crit haste an item, okay. Items have 9% crit chance, okay. Feather would probably be the biggest high roll here, just increasing or reducing the cooldown of everything by 6%. I wouldn't hate the Cosmic Amulet, but it wouldn't be good. I would just instantly sell the Cosmic Plumage or the Claws, so like less than 50-50 chance of something good that I'm happy with. Definitely even worse there. So yeah, I think it's going to be the Burninator Bot. I'm pretty sure I win this. And if nothing else, I'm getting extra experience. The extra experience, the extra gold, because it's actually compared to the Cosmic Rock. So 1 more experience, 2 more gold. And then if I get the pylons, that's a large gold item. Potentially upgrading the Induction Ages. Yeah. 1 in 5 chance that I get a lot of gold, potentially something usable, Yeah, that's definitely the choice. I do still win this, right? Yeah, I think I do. I think I still win this. I haven't really changed anything. So this Beta Ray is always going to freeze the Induction Aegis. Which, if it goes off frequently enough, means the Induction Aegis never gets used, so he never shields. looks like it's going off often enough. Easy fight. Easy win. That's 3 experience. And we get the thing I was least interested in. Okay. That's fine. Yeah, we don't really need a burn item that the only fancy thing it does is scaling, because we already scale our burn items. So I'm just going to take the gold on that one. Medium items could have something interesting. Small and large. I mean, small and large could have the Omega Ray, or whatever the burn one is. Medium items... I don't think, again, that there's going to really be a replacement for the Pulse Rifle. Upgrading the Chrono Barrier... Well, let's look and see if the Chrono Barrier, just real quick. Chrono Barrier. Okay, if I can get it to Diamond, it does increase enemy cooldowns by 2. Since he's small and large items, and I don't think there's any particular large items I really care about at the moment, like, I'm not willing to give up 3 board space for just about anything. Actually, maybe the Solar... No, the Solar I wouldn't even... So, that's whenever you burn charge it, and then it hastes everything. But, like... I don't want to give up 3 slots. So I'm actually going to go to medium just on the off chance that I get an upgrade here. I mean, multicast 3 every 6 seconds does not require the friend requirement, which means I could then put First Aid in next to Bomb Squad. That would be a lot more burn. And then I'd have the duct tape on the other side of the ignition core with the rocket launcher. The rocket launcher would be scaling. The rocket launcher would also be dealing double damage, which would be scaling with the shielding. So that scaling would be twice as strong. I think that's just a pure upgrade.
Oh, I think you're really gonna enjoy it.
Like, yes, it's 6 seconds compared to 4, but it's just so much more damage. So it doesn't charge the ignition core as fast. But if I put it on the other side, then it's less about the ignition core charging quickly, and it's more about just doing a ton of damage very quickly. And again, this lets me actually move First Aiden over here. Drop the Beta Ray for at least for now. Add in the Bomb Squad. So whenever this goes off, it's proccing the incendiary rounds 3 times. When First Aiden goes off, it's charging the Bomb Squad for 2 seconds. I think this is better. I'm not going to sell anything yet, because I'm not sure. Actually, I am going to sell the cool LEDs. I don't think I ever put the bronze cool LEDs back out. The only way Beta Ray goes back out is if I specifically get the Omega Ray. We're not really hasting a lot. We're not really slowing a lot. And that's only plus 20 damage. Again, this is because it has double damage when the enemy has burn. That means this 38 times 3 is actually 76 times 3. So even if it had the extra 20 base damage, so that brought it up to 55. And even if it was triple casting, no, not even 55, 53. And if it was triple casting, like, the double damage means that the rocket launcher is doing more. So it would be up to 73 times 3, which is 210, instead of 76 times 3, which is 230? Something like that? Yes, it's 4 seconds instead of 6 seconds, but this also has the burn, which is scaling and triple casting. Like, I don't think there's any better way to do this. I think this is about the best. Unless I was running the rocket launcher and the pulse rifle. Which I think would require me to get rid of a shield item. Unless I put the pulse rifle on the other side with the bomb squad. Okay, hold on. Hypothetically. Just hypothetically. If... No, put the incendiary rounds back. If I don't worry about the damage scaling. If I specifically drop that, and I'm just running the pulse rifle next to First Aiden, which is triggering the duct tape and making the ignition core trigger faster, which is then triggering the incendiary rounds and the rocket launchers, I think this is actually the best, upon closer inspection. I'm actually going to upgrade the... I'm going to get the extra 20 damage on the pulse rifle.
Bring it back. I want you to be.
I think this is the right play. So now we're triple casting to trigger the core more frequently, to then triple cast with the extra burn. Which is also triggering the duct tape more often, which is making the rocket launchers double damage scaling. Yeah, this is it. This is it. I don't even think I would change if I had the Omega Ray. I don't even think necessarily I'd change that out. I think this is the play. We'll see how it goes. Non-weapon items, small and medium items, or get a slow item. Well, we're basically out of money unless we sell stuff we don't necessarily know we want to sell yet. Also, the chrono barrier. Just kind of sitting there. Like, I don't even know what situations where I'd switch that in. I have no idea. But yeah, we're gonna just get the slow item. Because we don't have a lot of money. And that's just money if nothing else. It's 1 gold. Unfortunate. It could have been so much more. Alright, let's see how we're doing. Let's see if this is as strong as I think it might be. Okay, so they've got the good old combat core, armored core, pasture core, which is both of them, and then the force field, which is trying to build up a lot of shield to be able to do a lot of damage. And the combat core is increasing its shielding, which means, oof, yeah, force field is scary, but as long as we can get their shield gone instantly, then the force field does very little damage, and since the combat core is only scaling shield, then as long as we can destroy the shield before the force field goes off, we take basically no damage. That's literally the reason we won. Because he was shielding 1097 every, like, 3.something seconds. And we were able to destroy that 1000-something shielding before the force field went off. The one big chunk we took is because the cooldowns lined up just right where I couldn't destroy the shielding before it went off. If that had happened twice, I probably would have died. Get a friend, get some chocolate bars, get large items. Or sells large items. So this is just health, period, guaranteed. This could be a diamond First Aiden, which wouldn't admittedly be that much of an improvement. It could be a bomb squad, which would be negligible improvement, even if I were to start running it. Or it could be another small friend that makes me more willing to run the bomb squad. It could also just be money. Like, if it's a large friend, that's a lot of gold. Versus 50 max health unless I want to spend money. Yeah, that's money. In another build, in another run, this might be fun to play with. I did mess with it, I think, once. And in and of itself, if you're just getting it alone, it's not that great. But it with the Dinosaur is really good. Actually, I'm going to wait to level up just to see. Okay, 250 max health, not super interesting. 5% core reduction is actually pretty good. Tool, eh. Scrap, maybe. Cinders, no. I think it's either the scrap or the cooldown reduction on the core. The scrap just to continue making the duct tape scale a little faster. Then again, 5% cooldown on the core. I don't know if it's off of the current cooldown or if it's 5% off the original cooldown. But that's going to be like at most 0.1 seconds. So I'm going to go for the defensive option. I ran out of slots, didn't I? I did. I only got 12 shield instead of 24. I should have sold the big thing first. That was bad. That was so bad. Oh well. It's fine. Haste, slow, and cooldown items could be something enchanted with haste, slow, or cooldown. This could also just be plus 3 damage per damage gumball, plus 6 damage per damage gumball, plus shielding, plus health, or plus crit chance. But I don't think I have enough crit chance to really care that much. Whereas this is an opportunity for one of the things I'm running to be enchanted, basically. Unfortunate, but it's fine. Mistakes were made. I should have gone for the gumballs, but Here's the question, am I as strong as I feel right now? The answer is usually no. I can actually look at the Death Knight Reaper and see that he has almost entirely large items. Right? Like, I'm not mistaken there, right? Death Knight Reaper. 4,200 health. Medium, large, I believe. He's going to be scaling his damage the whole time. He's got lifesteal. Freeze an item for 4 seconds. Increase your other item's freeze. Freeze a smaller item whenever you use a weapon. That, if I could get that skill, that would be amazing. Triple freezing smaller... So triple freezing small items every time I used a weapon. That would be amazing. Plus 10% crit chance on our weapons wouldn't be bad. First time you fall below half health, remove freeze and slow from your items and cleanse half your burn and poison. Okay, that would potentially be very strong to have, but also make him very dangerous. The other people I can choose between is the Elite Duelist, which I don't think I care about any of his stuff. Nope, not really. Not really at all. Yeah, no. Small weapons. Big ego. Your weapons have lifesteal. But that's so unlikely. And everything else. Everything else. Wait, actually. Oh wow, spices? I have extra gunpowder. That would be a high roll and a half. And then I could also put the spices next to the incendiary rounds to have an extra +1. So, as long as the enemy has burn, this has double damage, means that the amount spices would increase the weapon damage by is whatever it was. And they're both ×3. I think that would actually be worth replacing the induction aegis. Like, not even kidding. If we got it. And I'm not, since the Death Knight Reaper, whenever he gets to half health, would cleanse half our burn. He's doing a lot of damage, he's healing. We don't really care about what he has except for, like, one skill. It would mostly just be for the experience. And the Blood Reef Captain has nothing I want. Like, I don't care about any of that, really. So So it just comes down to, do I want to fight the Death Knight Reaper for potentially 5 experience, or do I want to fight the Elite Duelist for guaranteed 2 experience? I'm already guaranteed 2 chests. Let's go for the Death Knight Reaper. Let's see if we're as strong as I think we are. Because I think I win this. I can't say for certain. Because he's going to cleanse half of his burn whenever he gets to half health. We are not shielding nearly as much as I expected to be. But I think it's enough. Oh, that lifesteal is going to be rough. Never mind, actually. Our burn is doing work. Even though he cleansed half of it. Alright. That was the right call. I'm pretty confident that was the right call. Huh. Huh. When you use the item to the right of this, haste it for 3 seconds. So, either one of them, since they're triple cast, would be perma-hasted by the Shadowed Cloak. Meaning that 6-second cooldown becomes a 3-second cooldown. Also, it has double damage. So that plus 7 would be plus 21 for the triple cast, which would become plus 42. But in order to fit that in, I'd have to remove the incendiary rounds and the induction aegis. So then all of my shielding would be duct tape. Would that be a bad thing? I don't know, actually. Yeah, definitely not weapons. Don't care about a shield item. Let's go haste and charge skills.
But it's the other way around.
When you burn, haste the core for 1 second. First time you haste, freeze for an extra second. Large items not using any. When you use your leftmost item, haste an item. I mean, the item I care most about being hasted is the ignition core. And this is pretty constant haste. As soon as it starts triggering. Which, yeah, 4 seconds in, if not sooner, the core hastes. Burns, hastes itself, which then makes everything else, yeah. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. When you use your leftmost item, like, is there anything other than the core that I actually care about hasting that I couldn't just haste with the cloak? I don't think so.
The key to moving faster is seen around the distance.
Okay. So, we can either upgrade First Aiden to get some more heal, more haste. We could upgrade the Pulse Rifle for, I think, plus 40 damage. We could upgrade the Duct Tape for 1 additional second of slow and 5 more shielding. We could upgrade the core so it's plus 4 burn instead of plus 3, and also does more base burn. We could upgrade the rocket launcher for plus damage and plus burn, or the induction aegis, which is probably one of the first things we're going to get rid of if we get rid of something. Welp. I don't know. But I do know the core is going to stick around no matter what I do, so I believe that is the correct answer. Yes, there's skills and things that you can get that will also let your core go off, or get upgraded, but that's fine. So, hypothetically, if I dropped the incendiary rounds and the induction aegis, just hypothetically, the Shadowed Cloak would let this have a cooldown of 3 seconds. And it would scale very quickly. Again, the 21 for triple casting would be 42. Because it does double damage while the enemy has burn. It would be perma-hasted because it's hasting for 3 seconds and it multicasts 3. So it would be hasted for 9 seconds, every 6 seconds, then every 3 seconds. But that is 2 slots. And those 2 slots could be additional shielding. And the shielding increases both weapons by 3. But if I'm doing this, then I can actually drop the pulse rifle. Potentially in favor of going... what? Incendiary rounds, induction ages? Which means, again, the rocket launcher is scaling even more off of the shielding, and we're losing the pulse rifle in exchange. Which is also charging the ignition core less. But now we have the core getting hasted by 1 second every time we burn. So the more burn items we're running, the faster the core triggers anyway. And now it's hasting instead of charging, so that could be problematic. But if we can keep the ignition core perma-hasted, if it's 5 seconds, then every 5 seconds using 3, 4... yeah, we actually have a perma-hasted core without actually burning any more than just... actually just the rocket launcher. After the Shadowed Cloak starts perma-hasting the rocket launcher, every 3 seconds it's multicasting 3, which because of that is every 3 seconds charges or hastes the core for 3. So it's perma-haste. And it's perma-hasted with 9 per... so unless something gets slowed or frozen, that is the core being perma-hasted. At that point, the only way to go faster would be to charge it. And the way to charge it is the pulse rifle, which is also shielding us more, because triple casting on the duct tape. So it's perma-hasted, it's charging constantly. I'm pretty sure this is actually an incredibly powerful build, but I just don't know for sure. I don't think I ever use the beta right now. And I don't think I ever use the Ritual Dagger. I think even the Incendiary rounds goes, but I don't need to sell it quite yet. Temporary boost. Don't really care. Regeneration 11. Let's look at small items.
Have to ask the price,
Sure.
you can't afford it.
No. 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 And we're already perma-hasting just off our burn, so we don't care about hasting the core. Don't really care about either of those. Cool.
Oh, I understand. Classes
Well,
for everyone.
time to find out if we're as strong as I think we are. Because I think this is an amazingly powerful build right now. I believe this is.
Go ahead.
And we shall see.
Underestimate me. It makes this more fun.
So what we're looking for specifically is, 1, is the core perma-hasted, and is the rocket launcher perma-hasted after the initial time that it launches? Oh, fun. They actually have the... when you poison, your enemy weapons lose 9 damage. Wow. That's... well then. Yeah, that completely negates the thing we were trying to do, and yet we still almost won.
Move in straight lines.
But we were perma-hasted. That assessment was accurate. The ignition core and the rocket launch were both perma-hasted, which is nice. It's just the, damage being negated completely ruined our build. So that's a situation where we would have been better off with more shielding, more burn. But that's fine. Chocolate bars, gold, or maybe an item. Yeah, let's go chocolate bars. A triple casting every 3 seconds of the incendiary rounds is so strong. I think that's the right call there. And rather than triple cast every 4 seconds, maybe just first Aiden going off will be enough. See, this is the problem though, is without the triple cast next to the duct tape, we don't have the defense. That's why the pulse rifle has been maintained for so very long. But this is every time the core goes off. This is 3 stacks and 3 stacks, so 6 stacks of +4, +8, +12. That's a lot. That's a very large amount of burn. And if I actually add some shielding back in, like so, then we are still charging the core every 3 seconds and every 6 seconds. So it's not going off as quickly, but it stays perma-hasted because of all the burn. We're shielding more than with the pulse rifle, which is better for situations like that where damage just doesn't matter. I think. See, this is part of the problem though, is I don't know exactly why we lost that, other than maybe that skill made our damage not matter. In which case, yeah, this would have been better against that particular enemy. But I don't know if... Because, like, they were poisoning us and we were losing damage. So the shield the triple shielding I was getting from the pulse rifle being next to the duct tape didn't matter. And the pulse rifle itself got down to 0 damage, so it definitely didn't matter. But I definitely need to sell something to get the... Oh, that would have been nice, actually. Running that would have actually made their cooldowns longer. I don't think I ever used the bomb squad, in part because it has to be next to someone. Do I use the ritual dagger? I don't think so. I don't think I ever go the ritual dagger. Even though I could have perma-hasted it and, you know, scaled it with the shadowed cloak and with the sharp corners, it wouldn't have been as strong as somebody who is built around a damage build rather than a burn build. And I'm not going to be buying any large items, I don't think, for the rest of the run, which means I can afford to drop down to 26 gold, but I can still buy a diamond small or medium, I believe. Small tool, don't really care. Temporary boosts, doesn't really help. Sells friends. Let's take a look.
I'm so glad to see you again, sir.
Alright. First Aiden, nice. Ah, I was wrong. 32 is a diamond. Okay. Okay, that's very interesting. So again, our core is perma-hasted. We are charging it pretty regularly. And this is not freeze a small item, this is freeze an item. You know what? Chrono Barrier's cool and all. PR Conditioner's stronger. So now the only question is, do I sell the incendiary rounds? Or do I sell the pulse rifle? Which one is more likely to find use moving forward? I think the answer is incendiary rounds. Then again, actually, if I can chart... Okay, hold on. If I go back to having that next to the core, the pulse rifle next to that, that charging the core gives me a bunch of shielding, but that would also give me a bunch of freeze with the air conditioner, while also scaling the rocket launcher. But then I'm no longer perma-hasting the ignition core because I am doing triple cast every 6 seconds rather than every 3 seconds, which is why the Shadowed Cloak is so important. Oh, this is tricky. Yeah, that is perma-hasting. And nothing else I did would perma-haste. Except, when the core goes off, it hastes itself 1 second. So it only actually needs, like, 2 additional seconds of haste every time it goes off, I think. Which could just be incendiary rounds. Unfortunately, just selling the induction Aegis and the gunpowder and figuring out doesn't work. I would need 2 extra gold that way. But I think this might be the best call. 32 gold gives us a perma-hasted core, as long as I can figure out how to get it perma-hasted with this assortment of things. That is just every 2.45 seconds without the charging. Freezing something for 1 second. But then it's getting charged every 4 seconds 3 times for 1 second. Which is going off 1.5 times every 4 seconds. Like, I don't know. I don't know what to sell. Definitely I keep the Diamond First Aid in next to the Pulse Rifle. 100%. Definitely. I think it's incendiary rounds. I think it is... There's a chance that I bring the Pulse Rifle, keep the Pulse Rifle in as a charging mechanism, and drop the Shadowed Cloak. Yeah, I sell the incendiary rounds. Probably because I second guess myself constantly. Probably gonna regret that. Okay. So the first question is, if I don't have the Shadowed Cloak, if I just have the Pierre Conditioner, First Aiden, the Pulse Rifle, and Duct Tape, does the Ignition Core still stay perma-hasted from just the rocket launcher and itself? Do I try against the Awakened District? That's rough. Changing builds before fighting somebody who is literally a DPS check. Like, this is literally a DPS check. So when he uses a large item, he hastes an item for 4 seconds. He shields equal to the shield... bunch of extra shielding, and then... at some point, he shields equal to his current health and deals damage equal to his shield. That said, this is actually a good chance to see exactly how impactful freezing will be. Because he has very few items. Let's see. Let's see how bad this is. Alright, so before we even get the first freeze... Our core is perma-hasted. But we're not doing nearly enough damage, even with the freeze. He's still gonna one-shot us, I think, right? Oh. Oh, maybe not. Okay. He only half-healthed us. So now we just have to keep freezing. Yeah. The PR conditioner was the right call. I don't think with the, like, we're up to 64 burn on our triple cast. 68 by the end of it. I don't think without the freeze that we would have been doing enough damage. Cool, I'm definitely going to just immediately sell that. Goodbye. But if we had kept the incendiary rounds and had them next to the triple cast rocket launcher, they would have also been at like 48. So, I mean, that would have been twice as fast of burn. Once it got scaling, that might have been enough. But then, without the freeze, he would have activated a lot quicker. So I don't know. I really don't know. I think the freeze is worth it, though. Unless they have a lot of small items. And actually, reducing the core cooldown now is insane. Now that we're perma-hasting it and charging it a lot. Like, now that that's our strat. Well then. Sure, I'll look at small items.
Just taking the first step toward good taste.
I'm not gonna probably buy any of them, but doesn't hurt to look. Nope.
If you want something big and ugly,
Skills. Definitely skills. I mean, that's pretty good. That's not. I mean, we slow only with duct tape. Nothing else slows. Yep. When we burn, everything gets 2% crit chance. We are burning constantly. Oh, let's see how it goes. We are freezing, we are burning, and we are increasing our crit chance now. Constantly. We just have to get that initial start. And they also have a very strong scaling build with the Omega Ray, Gamma Ray, Beta Ray. Okay. Okay, so we are now at the point where we're constantly burning and freezing, but they have a lot of little items, so it's not nearly impactful enough. Okay. I no longer am confident in my decision. I have no idea. Like, it's so hard to tell what really changed. I don't know if my DPS went down or if my shielding went... It's a second friend! Okay. Okay. Alright. I didn't even think about that. Enchant an item with a poison effect. Does the duct tape add it just when it slows? Yes. Yes, it does. That's I guess we make it a poisonous core. Alright. So, that means I definitely should have, when I was buying the PR Conditioner, sold the Pulse Rifle, because the second that I'm running a second friend, the Pulse Rifle stops doing what it needed to do. Which means the Shadowed Cloak is just objectively better than it right now, and the hope is just that the duct tape is enough off of the core and First Aiden going off. I don't think I sell it yet, though, just to make sure that the PR Conditioner is worth it, because I was very, very strong. And then freezing didn't go as fast as I thought it would. Oh, I'm so confused. I will just go here and look at, I could get 2 to 4 experience for 10 gold. Yeah, that could potentially get me something far more valuable than buying an item, but it could also prevent me from buying a skill that might very much change things. And it will not give me, even if I got the 4 experience, it would not give me an additional level by the next player fight. Here we go. Sells burn skills. This is beautiful. That's an extra 1% crit chance per burn. Okay. Well. Okay. Alright. So when you burn, your items gain 3% crit chance for the fight. Alright. I mean, at this point, I kind of just want to go for the most challenging, just to see if I am shielding enough. As much as, you know, as much as I would like. Because I'm definitely not scaling my damage as fast as whenever I had, like, the incendiary rounds. Oh, that was such a bad call. If I would have sold the... If I would have kept the incendiary rounds and sold the pulse rifle to buy the peer conditioner, that was probably the right call. Yeah, right now I'm only at 131, 140. Like, I'm not even scaling up the burn as much as I used to. So I'm trying to focus too much on the rocket launcher. Yeah, here we go. I'm dead. Totally dead. That ice pick for 1,000. And I'm not shielding as much as I used to because the duct tape is no longer next to a triple cast. Oh man, I messed up my entire build just buying the peer conditioner. Okay. So I think legitimately this is still the best call. Maybe hasting the shadow, or using the shadow cloak to haste the rocket launcher is okay as long as I have the shielding from the pulse rifle. Maybe, but I'm pretty sure the incendiary rounds induction Aegis was just the better option compared to either of these with the pure conditioner. I think that was the mistake that cost me the 10 wins. I'm pretty sure I could have gotten there if I hadn't made that mistake. But it's okay. I am happy with 7 wins. And there's always a chance. Shield skills. Yeah, every time the core goes off it'd be 30 and it'd be 90 extra shielding every 4 seconds.
Shield goes in front.
Whereas the burn containment... Oh, no, that's right. Oh, I almost okay. Once again, when you gain burn means when they burn you. So, there we go. Extra 30 shield on our duct tape.
Always have one.
You know what? This is a pretty good way to check our non-burn DPS. Like, without shielding anything other than the duct tape, and with the shadowed cloak on the rocket launcher, this gives us a chance to see how fast our DPS goes.
Feel like hitting something?
Or how fast it grows, rather. So we've got the shadowed cloak and the shielding. That will be scaling our rocket launcher. And then we have just the shielding scaling the pulse rifle. And then we got the burn that's hasting the core, which is triggering the shielding, which is triggering our damage. And he's cleansing our damage every time he dies. So at this point in the fight, we are very quickly stacking up hundreds of burn. But the main way we're killing him is with the crit chance, which is stacked up almost to guaranteed crits from burning. And from just doing so much damage per triple shot. So we're guaranteed crits. We are doing... yeah, 15, 16, 15, 15, 16, or 5, 5, 500. That's pretty strong. That's a lot of damage. I mean, it's not like the craziest amount of money I've gotten off of the sparring partner before, but pretty good. Pretty good.
What a wonderful feeling.
Now, defenses, on the other hand, pretty low. I've just got first aid and healing, and I've just got the duct tape going. So if I don't kill them fast enough, then the Pierre Conditioner is freezing. The Pierre Conditioner is protecting more, I think, than first aid. So I could actually replace the Shadowed Cloak and first Aiden with Pierre Conditioner and Induction Aegis, which keeps the pulse rifle at triple casts, still freezes when we use the core, gives me an additional burn scaling, which gives us crit chance fast. Yeah, I think that's the play, actually. Like, not even joking, I think that might be the play. I think this literally might be the best I can do. Every 4 seconds, the shield is giving damage, but more importantly, every 4 seconds, the burn is giving us, obviously, the burn itself, which is scaling, crit chance, hasting the core, and I thought there was another. Nope. Nope. And then it's just, you know, the 61 shielding. But is that better than 110 heal every 3 seconds? That also hastes an item for 5. So we're basically trading off haste and haste for freeze. And if he has a lot of little items, freeze 1 second isn't going to do much. Alright, slight interruption, and now I have no idea what I was talking about. Yeah, right, the, running it with Pierre Conditioner as the only friend next to the pulse rifle. Shielding more, burning more, this might be good. Let's see. They're on their last win before they get 10 wins. Oof, they're probably strong. Welp. Let me guess, is it the poison build? No. How did Dooley end up with a flagship? What? I am a little confused here. Dooley has a flagship. I am poisoning and burning him quite a lot, but I'm not shielding nearly enough, and I don't have first aid and healing. So yeah, nope, I lose. I feel like the run was going well up until I got the Pierre Conditioner. That was the point where I messed up. Yeah, the incendiary rounds triple casting was way stronger than anything else I was doing. But it's fine. 7 wins is still a good run. But I definitely sabotaged myself dropping the incendiary rounds, and then realizing that the Pierre Conditioner was a friend. Whoops. Alrighty, and I think I'm going to wait to open chests until I have 10 again. So, that has been your episode of The Bazaar. Thanks for watching, and until next time, have a good one.